About this button right here, ASR. And ASR, I don't know. I guess they needed to come up with some cool acronym for it, but what it stands for is Automatic Soloist Registration. Registration is obviously an organ term. So what the ASR does, it's sort of a I don't know, just kind of, I can't think of the adjective, but it's over here just looking kind of boring. But when you press it, it's really cool because it's a whole different set of presets that are, instead of being associated with these presets, associated with each of our drum patterns in the rhythm section, so that when you are ostensibly in the style of these various drum settings, you'll have a pre-made solo preset patch that goes along with that, say, the style of Dixieland or Hawaiian. Come on, give them a break. Anyway, so when you press the ASR, it disables these presets, and then you just get these pre-made presets, which I have to say, again, we've got a whole bunch of even more different sets of filters and etc. on cards somewhere in this thing for these presets. It's so complex. You've got like the 12, I'm guessing 12 oscillators and all of the subsequent dividers. And then all of those are feeding through a whole bunch of cards that have different filtering options on them, or routing through a variety of set filters in combination. I mean, it's very complex, which scares me because, I mean, a normal monophonic synthesizer is way simpler than this thing is. I've seen the schematics, and you probably have too, in various video things throughout the series. I mean, it's crazy complicated. This is not a simple thing. To do analog presets is on a top octave divide instrument is astounding. Anyway, okay, so let's get to this. I'm going to open it up because they have names for each of these presets that are associated with the ASR section. So I will tell you what they're supposed to be. Okay, so first, let's just start off. Okay, so say we've got a flute sound here, and we press ASR. We get nothing, and why? And this scared me earlier. I was like, I started to try to record, and I'm like, oh my God, it's broken. But what it really was that I had it on ASR, and I had not chosen a rhythm preset. So I've chosen Foxtrot, and this is supposed to be an accordion flute combination, just like you'd have in Foxtrot. Is that how Foxtrot works? I don't know. Again, not really the sort of synth patch you'd come up with on, well, and to be honest, typical polyphonic synths at this point, well, they didn't exist at this point, but okay. But when they started to exist, so much went into trying to battle the paraphonic situation that you didn't really have the opportunity for timbres like this, because usually you only had one danged filter. Now this thing, granted, all these filters in here are not voltage controlled filters, only a few of them are, but you've got so many filters, you can come up with timbres that you wouldn't be able to come up with on a lot of polyphonic synths in the 70s. And that's pretty cool. Of course, you don't have a voltage controlled filter to really mess with them, but still, think about timbre more than filtering. Okay, let's listen to the swing ASR preset, which is, oh, it just says piano. So we already have access to a piano, so that doesn't really save us a whole lot. Let's head on to Dixieland, which, let's see. Oh, this is just a trumpet, which we've already heard. Because Dixieland, you got to have a trumpet. Not that that was Dixieland. That was plainly a terrible cliche blues thing. Okay, so let's move on to Ragtime, which is a what they call a rinky-tink piano. This is rinky-tink piano. That's rinky-tink piano, I guess. Next, it looks like country has, no surprise here, the guitar, which we've already heard. So paraphonic. Still a cool timbre. Hoedown. You know, so when you're doing hoedown music, you get the banjo, which we've already heard. It doesn't matter what settings you have over here. It's just going to be this preset when you have ASR, and then you're choosing a different rhythm. Let's see what they have for pop rock. Let's see, electric piano. Now, electric piano is not something, we don't have electric piano over here in the soloist, so this is a new one. Apart from the distortion, it's actually really cool. That's a really cool timbre. Okay. What about soul rock? Mod electric sound. Drum roll, please. This is the mod electric sound. Pretty mod. Interesting. So I think really what we're hearing now, I haven't really experimented with this to find out if this is true, but I think what we're really just hearing, we're not hearing a new set of presets. We're really just hearing different combinations of the other presets, which would be the smart and economical way to do this if you were designing this. So I think these are just presets. The ASR presets are different combinations of our 8 original presets. I think that's what we're getting. Because I almost think I recognize the mod electric sound from when I was just going through the presets and randomly selecting combinations. So maybe I invented the mod electric sound on my own. Okay, so next, Hawaiian guitar. I tend to think of Hawaiian guitar being like a lap steel or something, but that's not what this is. So that was not suitably Hawaiian music, and I'm sorry. I don't know that I can really... I mean, if you're not going to give me a real slide guitar here, I cannot play Hawaiian music appropriately. Let's listen to Latin 3. Latin 3. I guess I had not noticed this before. Where's Latin 1 and 2? I don't know. But here we go. Let's hear what we're supposed to get a trumpet. Oh, it's just trumpet. And the vibrato works on the ASR presets. How about rumba? For all of your rumba. They didn't try and come up with a fancy name for this. They just said piano flute combination, which is one that I tend to do on my own because they're two sort of warm, dark sounds that sound good together. I wonder what's causing that distortion. Okay, Bossa Nova is just a vibra harp. Polka is just the accordion, as you'd probably imagine. And March is just the trumpet. And then Old Time Waltz. And you're like, gosh, we haven't even heard these drum sounds. So you really have no point of reference to know how suitable these presets are, but we'll talk about when we go through. Eventually you're going to hear the rhythm section and the bass and the presets and perk pattern and all that. So you will be able to say, now this is an appropriate sound for this particular batch. Old Time Waltz is just a piano, which we've already had, so this is a doubling. Waltz is harpsichord. Okay. Yes, because with the waltz, you're going to want a harpsichord. That is a little bit more than our harpsichord. That is the combination that I probably used somewhere else, trying to make the harpsichord sound fuller. Like, is that vibra harp and harpsichord? So, and then lastly, organ, which we'll explain what weird things happening with organ when we get to the rhythm section, but this is their organ sound. Funny to me, but for all these presets, the one that's actually called an organ doesn't sound like an organ to me. It sounds more like a synthesizer. It's fun when you have a top octave to divide because all these notes can play at the same time. Anyhow, those are your ASR presets. Exciting. Found on the Baldwin Fun Machine synthesizer, organ.